You sit down to do something important. Maybe you open your laptop to study. You read 2 lines. Then you check 1 notification. You come back. You remember a message you haven't answered. You open your phone again. 5 minutes later, you're watching something you never planned to watch. And the strange part is, you may actually want to focus. So why can't you? Maybe the problem isn't that you became lazy. Maybe your brain has simply become very good at something else. Switching. Your attention is constantly being asked to move. A message, a video, a new tab, a recommendation, a headline, a notification, another thought. And every time your attention moves, your brain has to rebuild the mental picture of what you were doing. That is one reason deep work can feel strangely uncomfortable now. You don't just have to start the task. You have to stay with the task after your brain has learned that something more exciting might appear at any second. But here's the part people often miss. Your phone doesn't even need to make a sound to affect you. Sometimes, simply knowing that it is nearby is enough to create a small mental question. Did I get anything? Should I check? What if someone messaged me? Your brain doesn't need to answer the question. It just needs to keep it open. And an open question takes attention. This is why you can spend an hour doing almost nothing and still feel mentally exhausted. You weren't resting. You were repeatedly deciding what to pay attention to. And there is another problem. Modern apps are built around variable rewards. You don't know exactly what you'll find when you open them. Maybe there's nothing interesting. Maybe there's a funny video. Maybe someone replied to you. Maybe there's exciting news. That uncertainty is powerful because your brain learns from unexpected rewards. If every check gave you exactly the same boring thing, you would probably stop checking so often. But when the reward is unpredictable, checking can become much harder to resist. This is why you may unlock your phone without even knowing why. You aren't always making a conscious decision. Sometimes you're following a learned pattern, and patterns can become automatic. But let's go deeper. There's a difference between being unable to focus and being unwilling to tolerate boredom. Those 2 things look almost identical from the outside. Imagine you're reading something difficult. Nothing is happening quickly. There is no music, no animation, no new message, no instant reward. After 30 seconds, your brain says, "This is boring," and you think you have lost your attention. But maybe your attention isn't broken. Maybe you've become less comfortable with the feeling that nothing exciting is happening. That matters because real learning often feels boring before it feels rewarding. A difficult chapter doesn't give you a reward every 10 seconds. Writing something good doesn't happen in one swipe. Learning a programming concept can feel confusing for 20 minutes before suddenly making sense. The reward often comes later, and your brain has to learn how to stay long enough to reach it. There's also something more personal happening. Sometimes you don't lose focus because the task is boring. You lose focus because the task makes you uncomfortable. You sit down to study, and suddenly you notice how much you don't know. You start writing, and you worry that your work isn't good enough. You try to plan your future, and the uncertainty feels too big. So your attention escapes. The phone becomes an exit. Not because you're weak, because avoiding discomfort is easier than sitting inside it. And this creates a dangerous cycle. You feel uncomfortable. You escape. You feel temporary relief. Your brain learns that escaping works. Next time the same feeling appears, escaping becomes even easier. So the answer isn't always try harder. Sometimes you need to change what happens in the first few minutes of discomfort. Here's a simple experiment. The next time you start an important task, don't tell yourself, "I have to finish this." Don't even tell yourself, "I have to focus for 1 hour." Instead, stay with the task for just 10 minutes without trying to make it enjoyable. 10 minutes. If your mind wanders, notice it. If you want to check something, notice that too. Then return. You're not trying to create perfect focus. You're teaching your brain something new. I can feel the urge to leave, and I don't have to obey it. That is a very different skill. And there's one more change that can make this easier. Stop treating your phone like a harmless object. Treat it like a doorway. Because every time you pick it up, you are giving yourself access to hundreds of possible things. Messages, videos, news, games, shopping, people, arguments, information. Your brain doesn't know which one is waiting. So serious concentration. Create distance between yourself and that doorway. Put the phone in another room if you can. If you can't, put it somewhere you cannot reach without standing up. Not because phones are evil, because reducing the number of decisions your brain has to fight is much easier than winning the fight every 30 seconds. And don't try to fix your entire life in one day. Start with one protected period, 10 minutes, then 20. Then, when that begins to feel normal, make it longer. You may discover something surprising. Your ability to focus was never completely gone. It was buried under thousands of tiny interruptions, habits, unfinished thoughts, and easy escapes. And when those interruptions become quieter, something comes back. Not superhuman concentration, something much simpler. The ability to stay. To read one page without checking. To listen to one person without reaching for your phone. To work through confusion instead of escaping. To let boredom exist without immediately killing it. Your attention is one of the few things you spend every day without seeing the cost. Where it goes, your life slowly follows. So don't try to become a perfectly focused person tomorrow. Just protect 10 minutes today. Choose one thing. Remove one doorway to distraction. And when your mind tries to run, gently bring it back. Again and again. That small act may look insignificant, but every time you return, you're practicing control over where your life goes next. Take one small step today. Your future isn't built in one big moment. It's built in the quiet choices you make every day. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and always shine more.